So I'm Councilwoman Ariola. If we could just go around the table and quickly say our names. What's up? Beautiful. Okay. So we're here to discuss Civics Week, right?
Yes.
Good. Civics Fall. Let's do it.
So my name is Joann. I'm a representative student council and fifth grade. If you don't know what a roundtable is, I'll give you a discussion about it or what it is. So basically, a roundtable discussion is a type of conversation where everyone has an equal opportunity to share their questions, thoughts, and ideas. The goal of this type of discussion is to explore different perspectives on the topic. In a roundtable, we students sit in a circle or around a table to encourage open dialogue, active listening, and respectful communication. It's a great way to learn from others, so critical thinking skills and better understand complex issues in our communities. We hope you enjoy this discussion and learn something from it.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for that explanation.
Hi, my name is Joann. I'm a third grade student. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in the community?
So I was a member of the New York City Council. It is an elected position, and you run every 4 years for City Council, and we get 2 4-year terms. And then we're what's called term limited. So then I cannot run again until another full 4 years passes, and then I can run again for this seat. So makes it so that no elected official remains in their seat for too long and becomes tired or not interested, and so there's a turnover. But now that I'm here and I am the city council member, I'm not so sure I should have voted for term limits. You know what I mean? Now, what do I do on a daily basis? I'm out in the community. I come to schools. I visit with parents. I visit with the students. I visit with your teachers, your principals, your superintendents, to make sure that you're getting all the funding that you need, all the taxpayer dollars that your parents pay. I make sure that it comes back to your school in the form of services. Additionally, anything that you see when you walk out your door, whether there's a pothole, or your sidewalk is broken, or your tree needs to be trimmed, or the lights on Cross Bay are not working, and cars are driving crazy all over the place. Those are all the things that I do. I work with the agencies, the Department of Transportation, sanitation to pick up your garbage, all different agencies throughout the city, the fire department to make sure that they have what they need in case we need their first responder skills. The NYPD, making sure we have enough police officers in our precincts, making sure they have the tools that they need at their firehouses, at their precincts. So anything that has to do with you on a local level comes out of our office. Then the next part of it is legislation. And that gets done at City Hall. So twice monthly, we have what's called a skated meeting. And the skated meeting is when all 51 members of the City Council attend the meeting at the same time, and we vote on legislation. And that could be legislation that's regarding, we just passed 2 pieces of legislation that helps oversight on the DOT and helps the fire department because of that oversight. So that's what we do while we're there. And then we have our district office. And today we're joined by our chief of staff, Phyllis Cirillo, right over there. And we have a number of staff members who are excellent. They take all the phone calls in. So I say this all the time. I make the promises and they make it happen, right? But people can call them too. And our office is very, very busy. It's right on 101st Avenue. If anybody's familiar with Junior High School 210, Elizabeth Blackwell, it's right across the street. So we get a lot of people just walking in and out. And that's a lot of it too. People paying too much money in property taxes. And Alex from our office is able to get that reduced for them if they meet the requirements. So it really is a lot of what you do on the city council, on your school council, because you're listening to your peers, seeing what they want, and bringing it forth to the administration. I do the same. I listen to my constituents, and I bring it to the agencies, to the city council, and we put it into law if necessary. You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Joanna. I am a student council member and I am in 4th grade. It's very exciting to see someone who went to PS63 and MS207 to go on to achieve great things and then give back to their community. What inspired you to get involved in politics? How did your time at PS63 and MS207 help you achieve your position?
So at PS63, I was in kindergarten and 1st grade because I lived on Pitkin Avenue in Ozone Park between Whitelaw and Lafayette. And then my parents bought a home in Howard Beach. And guess what? Howard Beach was so new that there wasn't a school. So I remained here at PS63. And the teachers, and I remember my kindergarten teacher, her name was Miss Rajinska. And she really made such an impact on me. Now think about it. Not that I'm old, but I'm way more mature in age than all of you. But I still remember her name because she taught us to be polite and to be caring and to be considerate and to worry about our environment. She put all those layers. Everything is a foundation, brick by brick by brick that happened. At that point, after 1st grade, I transferred to PS207 and that was, and again, you know, I had very impactful teachers who taught me that you should get involved. But where did I really learn it? At home. It was reinforced at home. Everything that was taught to me in school, like you are getting now, was reinforced at home. My parents were very involved in their church community. And so I was very involved in Our Lady of Grace Parish. And what I learned by example, which is the best way that you can learn, is by example. And you're learning by the example of your very, very, very forward-thinking teachers and administrators.
Yep. Our team heard about the Office of Marine Prison on Mobile and created. One of our missions is to help clean up litter in our school and community. How can you monitor the conduct of the Litters Office?
So we monitor it through hearings. I'm not on the Parks Committee, but I can go and sit when they're having a hearing and come in and we ask questions like, how many boats have you picked up? So year to date, 24 boats have been, and debris, that doesn't count the debris, but it's 24 boats were taken out of Jamaica Bay, just local to our community right here. And this particular bill is citywide, so imagine the number citywide. And then we put additional funding for just our area. So 120,000 more dollars, taxpayer dollars, go into this new office, which really was something that had never been done before. We created a mayoral office, and they said it couldn't be done, but they never met us before. We kept pushing for it, and then got all our other colleagues. Now, I'm a Republican, and we're 6 Republicans now, and we're 51 members. So who can do the math? How many Democrats do you think there are? If there are 6 Republicans in 51. All right, there may way more, right? So I could never get this bill put forth and passed without those other members. So what you have to learn to do is work with people who may have different ideas than yourself. Work with people who don't maybe believe in everything you believe in, and you don't believe in maybe everything they believe in, but you have to respect them, and you have to work with them. And that's how this particular office was opened. And that's why they all participated and put money in for their own districts. And now the Parks Department does a great job. It was really like what they call a legacy. When an elected official, they say, what's part of your legacy? Part of my legacy will be the fact that we opened up a mayoral office that will keep Jamaica Bay clean for your generation and generations to come. Sure.
Can you reflect on and share any teachers or staff that has helped you during your time in school?
Sure. I mean, from kindergarten with Miss Rajinska to my years at Stella Maris with Sister Sarah McKella, every teacher that you encounter wants you to do better in life. They don't not like you. You're not the teacher's pet. They want you to do better in life. And each one imparts some type of wisdom. And to really say, I mean, when I was in high school, I was part of student council. And that gave me a seat at the table, just like many of you who are in student council, to speak with the administrators of the school. And so what we would do is we'd say, so back then, it was, we wanted to not wear this really ugly shoe, very ugly shoe, that we had to wear part of the uniform. And so we lobbied, and there was a very popular shoe back then called the Marshmallow. And we won because they were neat and they were clean and they matched the uniforms, and the city council said, this is what we should do. And that showed us that we should never give up. And that's something else that I want to say to you. I am your city council member, but I ran for office before. I ran over a 20-year span and never, ever gave up. I remained a part of the Civic Association. I remained a part of the precinct council, the community board, going to meetings. And although I was not successful in those other runs, at the right time, I became successful. And it was a 20-year span. So if I can impart anything to you today, it's don't give up.
Yes. I just have a quick question. Was there like any other teacher like Ms. Myers, Ms. Flynn, Mr. Gordon, Mr. A that inspired you?
So they weren't here when I was here. They were definitely not here when I was here. And but there were other teachers and there were other principals that have since retired a long time ago, so you wouldn't know their names. And what was interesting, I will mention Ms. Rajinska again, is because when my oldest son, Matthew, went into kindergarten at 207, she was still teaching. And she was teaching at PS 207. And I had such a great experience with her, I requested her for my son. And he had Ms. Rajinska as well. So, she's a standout. I did, after second grade, go over to Our Lady of Grace, so there were many nuns that were very instrumental, Sister Lorraine, Sister Alice, because at that point, now you're starting to have a better memory of your teachers and what happens. And Miss Canarazi, I would not know my times tables if it wasn't for her. It was learn them or else. And we did. And this day, we know our times tables, everyone from my class. So, don't get upset if your teacher is hard on you. They're not really being hard on you. They know you can do better. They know that you're maybe not giving it your all in your homework, right? But they know you can do better. So if they say to you, no, I know you can do it, you should. Go ahead.
So I know that you became an elected official and that how you help everyone. But when you're a bit like our age and stuff, what are some things that you did or things that you've seen that has inspired you to go bigger?
So at your age, I was helping really with the church and the school, and we created a choir. I was part of the choir. We did graffiti cleanups. And because the teachers were a firm belief, and they're right. If you do, say, graffiti cleanups at your age, you'll be less apt to put graffiti on things when you're older, because you'll know that it was wrong, number one. You'll know what it's like to work with your local police department to take it off. You'll know how hard it is to take it off. And you will be then the mentor for others and say to your friends, no, that's not such a good idea. We shouldn't do that. And so we were doing things like that. We would do cleanups. We would do beach cleanups. We did so many things because when, in my religion, I'm a Roman Catholic, you have to make your confirmation and you need to have service credit for that. So that's what we did for our service credit. So that really helped me kind of ingrain in me that you had to give back. That's the main thing, giving back.
As you said that you did beach cleanups, our school also had a field trip to help clean up the beach.
Right?
Oh yeah. Students in the 4th grade, they were cleaning up a beach and we collected almost 1,000 pieces of garbage in the class.
Imagine. People just go to the beach and I tell you that you did that cleanup and 3 weeks later someone else was doing that cleanup. There's always someone that doesn't care that's throwing stuff around. And it's not that hard to bring your garbage home with you from the beach, right? You put it in a container and then there are garbage containers all over the beaches. You put them in there and it's easy. but not everyone's like you. So thank you so much for that you guys did that. That was terrific.
We're gonna do just one more question and then that's it. So, Caitlin.
So, hi, Caitlin Ali, and I'm a 5th grade Green Team leader. Our school held a climate action STEAM fair about waste. You noticed that you share the same interests regarding sustainability. Can you tell us more about your interests?
Yes, I came to STEM Fair. It was absolutely amazing, one of the best that I had attended, and everybody was so well prepared. And we have done a lot through the sanitation committee for sustainability and making sure that things are more green. And we're working on the buses that you see to be electric, and especially with solid waste. Now you see we have composting has become a law, and we kind of push back on the composting. I'm of the opinion that composting should be voluntary, but we were at least allowed to push back on some of this being given until people realize that composting can be great, especially if you have gardens and you want to put your composting in the garden and things like that. So that works. Nothing grows a plant better than coffee grinds. So those are the sustainability things that we've done.
Thank you.
So we're at our last question, one more, or?
I think that would be the last one, is
That's
that
our
okay?
last
Just as a
That was great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was so amazing. The students.
I really do appreciate all your questions and the way you did the research about me and knew about bills that I had passed. Really, I applaud you. I applaud your teachers and your supervisors. You really are well informed, and I'm never ever surprised with a PS63 student, because I know that this is a wonderful school that really works hard so that you guys can get the best education and then go out into the world and do whatever it needs to do to make the world better. So thank you so much. It was my pleasure.